Everybody wishes they were rich, even if they don't want to admit it. It might not be everyone's main goal, but financial freedom is always sought after. Obviously, everyone can't have enormous wealth. Sometimes, though, just looking rich is enough. And what's the best way to look rich without actually being rich, you ask? The answer to that is owning a classy luxury car, of course. You might have seen car auctions before and noticed that some pretty classy cars have been sold for relatively low prices. This may have caused you to raise your eyebrows. That's because looks can be deceiving, and not all super expensive looking cars are actually that pricey. Would you be shocked to hear that Bentleys, Rolls-Royces, Maseratis, and Lotuses are on this list? Some of the brands most well known for being exceedingly expensive are sometimes not actually that expensive at all. Luckily for you, you clicked on this video, because today you're going to learn about the cheapest luxury cars of all time. First on the list, we have the Lotus Elise. Talk about a luxury car that would make it look like you spent $1.5 million. The Lotus Elise may look like a super luxury car, but it can actually be very reasonably priced. The Elise is a two-seater mid-engine luxury roadster that was first built in 1996. The first models were hand-finished with fiberglass bodies on bonded aluminum chassis, helping keep weight and production costs at a minimum. The first Elise had a top speed of 150 miles per hour, but the 2005 model was perhaps even faster. It was the first Elise to be sold commercially in the US. This car comes with a 1.8-liter i4 engine, had relatively low horsepower, but still moved fast. Most 2005 models go for around $30,000 and above, but we found one on AutoTrader that was under $28,000, with only 55,000 miles on it. Next on the list, we have the Maserati Spyder. Maserati is a brand that's become well known for their classy luxury cars, and the Spyder is one of the cheapest luxury cars you can buy. The Italian automaker produced the Spyder from 2001 to 2007 before replacing it with the Gran Turismo. It comes in both a 4-seater coupe and a 2-seater roadster version, and both were modeled after the 3200 GT. The Spyder is also commonly known as the 4200 GT. While most of these cars are between $20,000 and $30,000 used, one was found with just 65,000 miles for just $19,000, complete with all the amenities, including a 4.2-liter V8 engine. Up next, we have the 1982 Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit. It might not seem very likely that you can be pretty much broke and still own a Rolls-Royce, but believe it or not, you can. The Silver Spirit by Rolls-Royce is an elegant full-size luxury vehicle that was produced from 1980 to 1999. The long wheelbase version of the car, called the Silver Spur, was also produced at the same time, and it was the first car to feature the retractable Spirit of Ecstasy hood ornament. The first generation Silver Spirit, called the Mark I, was in production from 1980 to 1989. This car had a 6.8-liter L410 V8 engine and a THM 300 3-speed automatic gearbox. It's a car that screams class even today, and you can get them for a relatively low price. Here in Modern Muscle, we found multiple 1980s models for less than $20,000, and even a black 1982 model with just 72,000 miles going for just $9,900. Up next, we have the 2014 Jaguar XJL. The Jaguar XJ is the name of a long-running, full-size line of luxury sedans made by the British car maker since 1968. Since 1970, the XJ has been their flagship model, and the original version was the last Jaguar sedan to have had input from its founder. The X351 was unveiled in 2009 by Jay Leno in London. It's a longer and wider car than its predecessors, but has smaller headlights and a newer grille. The 2014 model had a minor facelift, but it was still powered by a 5-liter V8. Surprisingly, you can find a used 2014 model for around $20,000. Up next, we have the 2002 Bentley Arnage. Another classy car company that screams performance and elegance is Bentley. They also happen to be an automotive brand whose cars most people only dream of owning. However, if you look hard enough, you can find an older model Bentley for a very affordable price. The Arnage is a large luxury vehicle that was in production from 1998 to 2009. At the time, this was one of the two cars that marked the first redesigns from the company since 1980. The Arnage was also powered by a new engine. Rather than the typical 2.8-liter V8, this car was given a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8 produced by BMW. For a brief moment in history, it was the fastest and most powerful 4-door sedan in the world, with over 354 horsepower. Though prices for an Arnage can fluctuate between $25,000 and $50,000 and even go higher, we found a black 2002 model with just 55,000 miles on it for just $24,800. Up next, we have the 2006 Lotus Exige. If we called the Lotus Elise a super-looking car earlier, we may have been wrong, because this is what a supercar should look like. It's a two-door hardcore version of the Elise, and is the bigger engine model of the Lotus family. It uses a V6 instead of the Elise's straight 4. The car has been in production since 2000, with all different sorts of variations. The 2006 Exige reverted back to an i4, a supercharged 1.8-liter Toyota engine that produced 220 horsepower, and was capable of reaching 148 miles per hour. Though it may not be as fast or as powerful as it looks, that fact alone is going to help your budget. This car looks absolutely awesome, and will certainly turn heads on the road. There are a few used models for sale for roughly $40,000. Up next, we have the 1997 Bentley Turbo R. The Turbo R was a high-performance luxury car that was produced from 1985 to 1999. It has a turbocharged 6.8-liter V8, shared with the Bentley Mulsanne Turbo. It also has a retuned suspension and alloy wheels with wider tires, which was the first for Bentley. During its debut, Motor Trend claimed that the Turbo R was, quote, the first Bentley in decades deserving of the famous name. These cars are pretty hard to find, but if you're willing to travel to California, there's a 1997 model with only 60,000 miles, going for just $19,000. Up next, we have the Fiat Spider. Fiat isn't typically known for their high-end luxury sports cars, but this beauty is the exception. The Fiat 124 Spider is a front-engine, rear-wheel drive roadster that has been in production since 2016. It's based on the Mazda X5 Roadster and was manufactured alongside it. It has the same platform, interior, and mechanisms as the MX-5, but it also has a Fiat turbocharged multi-air 1.4-liter i4 engine, updated shocks, and a unique design. Given its small engine, it only runs at 168 horsepower and has a top speed of around 144 miles per hour. Yet this luxury car still looks great, and you can get one almost new for around $23,000. Up next, we have the 1960 Chevy Corvette, though we could have put a Dodge Viper or a modern Corvette on this list, because they're both relatively inexpensive for what they are. This list would never be complete without the 1960 Corvette. It is reaching higher price points, that's true, but this luxury car is still in the range of rich looking without actually being rich. The Corvette has been around since 1953, and in those 65 years we've seen countless body styles and designs. This, however, is a C1 first generation Corvette, first introduced in 1953 and left in 1962. It's the classic model of an already classic car. It will be recognized by car enthusiasts wherever you go, and will turn the heads of even the most inexperienced of car enthusiasts. All of this can be had for around $50,000. Well guys, those are the cheapest luxury cars of all time. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you like what you see at the channel, subscribe and put post notifications on. I'm Jeff from Modern Muscle, and I'll see ya next time.